Oh, we're live, huh? All right, I was in the middle of making some bets here, Jimmy the Bag. I was in the middle of making some last-minute bets here, and you know what that means? That means I'm seeing some plays that I'm liking, CFL and MLB and WNBA. Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak in the Bag Show. What a week. Ooh, this World Cup is stressful. World Cup is like, at first glance, it's not as hard as it seems, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and seventh, and eighth glance is a little harder than it seems. You know what I'm saying?
This is the hardest I've hit the World Cup. I find it extremely difficult.
It's tricky because, well, I mean, it's, you know what it reminds me a little bit of, or a lot of, obviously, which makes sense. It reminds me of when I first started handicapping and betting hockey, right? Hockey, of course, it's very tricky to know what the value of one goal is. When you have very few scoring opportunities, games with those kinds of scoring opportunities are a different animal than like basketball or even baseball when there's a decent amount of scoring. I mean, it can be very, very difficult to know exactly how much value you're getting or not getting, the difference between 1.5, 2, 2.5. You know what I'm saying? -1, -1.5, 2. Thankfully, sitting next to you, I might have cracked the NHL regular season. We'll see what happens next year in the NHL. But it reminds me a little bit of hockey. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so few scoring opportunities, scoring results.
I can understand that comparison. For me, hockey's just in my blood. It's the sport that I played my whole life and am closest to. Feel very comfortable. I mean, I played soccer all my life, but when we sit beside Alex, I realized, I mean, his vast depth of knowledge is very helpful, and even with that depth of knowledge, it's very, very difficult.
Oh yeah, you better believe it. The most important thing I think when it comes to sports betting, a sport regularly and as a serious pursuit is being familiar with the idiosyncrasies of that sport and maybe even certain teams, and that is definitely something that only really comes with experience. I definitely feel that whenever I'm handicapping soccer, and I have been handicapping soccer my whole life casually. You know what I mean? But I definitely feel like I don't have a handle on the idiosyncrasies of soccer nearly like I do with football, baseball, and some of the other sports.
Yeah, and I find it really difficult because some of these favorites look so dominant.
Yes,
and it's very difficult to find value with them. That's why, like the Alex special, both teams to score and over 2.5. That kind of a thing is a way to figure out how to get value. Not that helps with big favorites. It's just it's tricky. And I went pretty heavy with that Argentina spot, thinking and if I hadn't have done that, if I hadn't have gone 1-6 on those plays, I probably wouldn't have tried to pick the correct score in that Brazil game. I'm going to take it. I'm only betting half a unit on World Cup, so I'm clearly taking it easy on it. But I think it'll get a little bit easier once we move on to the round of 16.
Yeah, Tom Marino, Tom Moore, always with educational, with informational, illuminating comments, says the sample size is so small in the World Cup, it's hard sometimes to get a good read on teams that change a lot every 4 years. Yes, I absolutely agree with that, and that's why, in general, expecting the unexpected, expect the favorites to maybe not be as dominant as the media is predicting them to be. That was kind of a factor that I used when I was handicapping curling so successfully in the Olympics. I knew that it was like there was just a lot of information that we didn't know, so I was tending to take underdogs in general. You know what I'm saying? My assumption was always that the favorites that were seen as big favorites were probably did not have the edge that the media was saying they did, and that certainly worked for me last World Cup when I was fading Brazil all the time. This World Cup it's been very up and down, and but it's certainly fun as hell. I'm definitely betting the World Cup recreationally, not necessarily with an expectation of positive results, with the hope of positive results, but not necessarily an expectation.
Love this comment from Teddy B. Winnipeg first half money line is near lock. My college roommate is best friends with the QB for them. Said he talked to them. Said they have a great offensive game plan first half against Montreal.
Wow.
First half is interesting because I'm on the Bombers. I really like the spot. I can't wait to break down the CFL. I did a ton of work on the CFL, so I have picks on all 3 games.
Really?
All 3 games.
Wow, look at that comment from Teddy B. Wow. Okay, Jim Loshak, Winnipeg first half money line is near a lock. Now, for first-time viewers, last time Teddy B made a comment like this was in the Minnesota Lynx last game first half. He was saying, look, guys, this is as near as a lock as you're going to see. cashed easily. The full game didn't cash easily, but the first half cashed very easily. Teddy B has been nailing some plays over and over again, repeatedly. Natalie and Alex laughed at him when he said that Mexico would beat Germany, and of course we made them apologize to Teddy B. I used to laugh at Teddy B a long time ago, but I learned my lesson. You're never going to catch me laughing at Teddy B ever again, and that is wow. We're gonna talk about that comment when we analyze the Winnipeg game. Wow, that's a comment and a half right there. Shout out to Teddy B. Jimmy the Bag. Any other early comments that are catching your eye here?
Just we got a great group of cappers. I'm ready to get to work.
Yes. All right, let's get into. Of course, we got a whole ton of shit to cover. I guess we're gonna start with MLB. Sorry, there's so much stuff to talk about today. Let me just pull up the MLB sheet that I have here so I can review the picks that we gave in the morning. Jimmy the Bag only. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't enter the MLB picks. I'm gonna have to do this from memory. What were your picks? You took
I made Cubs three plays. I took the Cubs first half
minus a half.
Yes, and the Cubs full game minus 1.5.
And the other
I believe
one
I got plus 125 on the minus 1.5. I can't.
And the Coors Fade. And the Coors
Fade Marlins at plus 350. Curious, actually, I should check right now to see if that line changed. I have plays. I'm ready to rock.
All right, we'll get into this. All right, so let me just review the picks officially. Again, Jim is on the Cubs first 5 innings minus a half, and the Cubs run line plus 125. I am also on the Cubs 2 ways, and Jim is on the Coors Fade, which he's been doing blindly. He's taken the Miami Marlins minus 1.5, a huge run line minus 1.5 plus 350 at the Bet 365.
Still at 350.
Yes. All right. So here are my picks from today's card. These are just the picks that I've given. Yankees second half money line minus 155. Dodgers second half money line. I got it at 155. Weird line movement in this one. It opened at 135. I bet it at 135. In the morning show it was 155, so I took it there. And now it's gone back the other way, which concerns me a little bit. But those are 2 picks that I have. Dodgers and Yankees second half. Dodgers minus 1 at minus 112. Cubs 2 ways. I took the run line minus 1, which turned out to be minus 105, and the Cubs team total over 4.5 minus 120. I also took Miami on the second half money line at plus 130, and the Tigers on the second half money line plus 120. Sorry, Miami is second half money line plus 130. Tigers second half money line plus 120. I also took 2 second half unders. Arizona Pittsburgh under 3.5 minus 130, and San Diego San Francisco under 3.5 minus 145. And in one of the more curious games of the day, the Boston Red Sox, is LeBlanc going to have another great start, which he's been doing? Is Wright going to have another great start? Boston is often a big favorite at home with value. Now they're not that big of a favorite in this game, and I did go with Boston minus 1. Turned out to be a plus 106. So those are all my official plays. Let me just go over a few of the leans that I was thinking about. I was thinking about Miami minus 1. That would be plus 306 at the current lines. Miami minus 1. I was thinking about the Arizona-Pittsburgh game under at the time in the morning. 8 minus 125 was available at Bet 365. I was thinking about that one. I was also thinking about the Boston game under 9.5, the San Francisco game under 7.5, and I was thinking about going 3 ways with the Cubs, taking the Cubs first half money line at minus 140, taking the Cubs Cincinnati game first 5 innings over 4.5. I was also thinking about taking Texas, Minnesota on overs. The first 5 over, 4.5 minus 136, and the full game over. And a whole bunch of first 5 inning team totals. I was thinking about the Cubs over 2.5, Milwaukee under 2 facing Flaherty, Seattle under 2.5 against Wright, and Oakland in the second game over 2.5 facing Giolito. That's been a no-brainer play, taking team total overs against whoever Giolito is pitching against. I was also thinking about taking Arizona on the second half money line, Milwaukee on the second half money line to have an edge when Flaherty goes out, because Flaherty's great, but he only goes 5 innings, and Milwaukee should have a good bullpen, although it hasn't been as good recently. And those are all of my, and also Pittsburgh on the first half money line, even though the wind is blowing in and Pittsburgh might be a weaker lineup for Corbin. He just seems like a guy you want to fade right now, especially when you're getting a dog line against him. That's about it as far as my leans. I might convert a bunch of those leans to official picks. Jimmy the Bag, we've got a lot to cover. I know you've got a lot of MLB picks that you want to add on. Let's start out with what you're liking here, Jim.
Sure, and great note from CC Fitness. So this will lead into my first play. Astros have 50 wins, 43 of them covered the run line. I don't find even though I think they're going to smash.
Yeah, KC, you mean?
Houston KC. I think they're going to smash, but the only place I can find value, not value, but where these pitchers just met up. last Friday. I'm going to take the Astros team total over here. I think Duffy gets touched. We know this Astros team smashes lefties. 281 batting average, 805 OPS, and that number just is skyrocketing. It's just going up and up and up and up. Kansas City's dropped 9 consecutive games. I can understand people being on the full game total over, but I just can't trust these Royals bats. They're batting 188 this month. I'm not going to take them. It was 4.5 at minus 150 in my book, and then I took them at 5.5 plus 110. So they met on Friday. Keuchel got the win, allowing 2 unearned runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 6 innings. Duffy allowed 6 earned runs, 7 total, 7 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Duffy is a 5.29 ERA and 8 career appearances against Houston. I know I don't trust Keuchel that much, but this just seems like a nice spot for him. He's a 2.89 ERA and 7 career starts against the Royals, and I'm on the team total over.
Yeah, one interesting note about this one, you might be looking at this minus 300 line and thinking, what the hell, should any Major League Baseball team be a 300 favorite? KC, of course, is 2-16 in June, which means that as of right now, the average line against KC in June should have been minus 800. If the average line against KC in June had been minus 800, you would have broken even betting that minus 800 line every day in June. Unbelievable, right, Jim?
Unbelievable.
All right, so you want the Houston team total over, right?
I do.
Okay, 5 minus 115 is the line at Pinnacle. You want me to check bet 365, or what do you want me to do here?
I did. It's 5.5 at plus 110. I'm fine with this.
All right, 5. So Jim's going to take Houston team total over 5 minus 115. I'm just curious because a while ago you had a great call saying that Duffy was not as bad as he looked, and he had looked at that time, and you were right about that. But now you're happy to fade him here.
I just think I know the Astros aren't hitting as well at home as they're on the road, but I just feel like getting a chance to see Duffy again, and I just feel like he's going to get touched. These numbers for the Astros against lefties are skyrocketing.
All right, Jimmy the Bag, what else would you like here?
I decided, I know I got talked off a few of the first 5 dogs, and really just one. But other than that, I'm just going to go with what I was feeling. So I'm taking the Pirates first 5. I'm going to trust Nova. I know a lot of people have been saying it's smoke and mirrors. I'm going to trust it. I'm going to take Pirates first 5. It's more of a fade of Corbin rather than taking or a belief in Nova. Corbin giving up at least 5 runs in 3 of his past 4 starts. I know that these Pirates can hit lefties. Pirates are hitting 256, 766 OPS versus lefties, and I'm going to jump on the first 5 here.
All right, well, the first 5 has interestingly gotten bet up. In the morning, it was like 109, 110. Now it's all the way up to plus 115, and Pinnacle has plus 118. So we can give you Pittsburgh first 5 innings money line plus 118. Interesting line movement there. And Tomarino Tomor comes in and says, I'm on Arizona. I got minus 120. I think Corbin will be better after getting hammered by Pittsburgh last start. Nova has been destroyed by lefties, and Arizona will hit 4 strong lefties first 5. Okay, interesting. Let's keep a brisk pace here. What else do you like here?
I'm going to the 2 teams that I'm obviously walking into maybe a snake pit here, but I am taking the Mets first 5. I trust Wheeler. I like the way he's throwing. It's also a slight fade of Wood. The Mets seem to have woken their bats up. We talked about it. 42 runs in 17 games between May 28th, June 15th. 42 runs in their last 6 games. I know the Mets aren't good against lefties. I just feel that there's value here on the first 5. I think the Dodgers ultimately, would like the Yankees seem to do, ultimately take over games. And they may here as well, but I'm going to take a shot with the Mets first 5. First 5.
All right. Interestingly, wow. The market seems to be agreeing with you because unless it's normally you would expect maybe the team with the road favorite to be an even bigger favorite on the first 5 innings. It's not the case here. On the full game, the Mets are about plus 135, but on the first 5 innings, Pinnacle has them at plus 123. We can give you plus 125 at other places. Jim's going to take the Mets first 5 innings money line plus 125. All right, Jim, what else would you like to?
I am fading CC Sabathia, but just the first 5. Just been watching this Yankees team, and I'm extremely impressed. But I love the way Ryan Stanek looks. It's when these bullpen days are a tough thing to prepare for. And I know the Rays can hit lefties, not with a ton of power, but 247, 711 OPS. I am going to try this again, and I'm going to take the Rays first 5.
All right, plus 141 is the best line at Pinnacle right now. God, there's so many comments that I want to be getting to. Let's take a quick break and search for some comments that might be shedding light on all these plays that we're thinking about here.
Sure.
Search for some comments. Let's see. Alexis, go ahead.
Plus Money says, sorry, Jimmy, Mets can't hit lefties. They Can't. Last chance of the lefty they hit. Nemo is a spark plug. But you're right. They've been bad against lefties. Jim Bean giving him score Mets 5, Dodgers 2.
Wow, really? That's not good. I'm on the Dodgers second half and on the full game. I hope that doesn't come to pass. It might, though. Gil Gates says a max bet the Giants. The Giants have been great at home. The second best team in terms of ROI at home, second only to the Detroit Tigers. The Giants have been great at home, and maybe they're another good bet here as well as just a small home favorite. Gil Gates likes a max bet on the Giants. Let's see. What else do we have here?
Homer says Wheeler's been great after getting hammered, but he hasn't put together good consecutive starts. I think he gets hit here after a good start.
J. Peach says Washington under 8.5. I was thinking that way myself. I was thinking about the under on that one, and also the second half under. The starting pitchers in the Washington game, Eflin and Rourke. Not exactly sure what to make of Eflin. He had a couple of great starts to start the year. Then he came crashing back down to earth. Last 3 starts have been a lot better. And Rourke, kind of mediocre, but can be good at times. I was leaning under myself, and the second half under. Jim Bean says Cubs are a lock. Okay.
And there's a big line movement towards the Nationals.
Yes.
And that was the one first 5 that I took off, although and there was the line movement that really kind of scared me.
Yeah. Let me see. Jason M says Astros run line. Listen, yeah, I hear you on that one. And if the form of June continues on, then maybe the fair line here for the Astros should be -600 or -800. Again, KC 2-16 in the month of June, and we see this with teams and with pitchers. We've seen Clayton Kershaw go on runs where the average line for the Dodgers should have been -900 in Clayton Kershaw starts, and maybe fading KC for the next few weeks or month will continue to be up in the -500 range. We'll see. Let me see. Mayless Payless Way, Chicago team total unders. Let me see. Nick Dial says weather's issues in a few games tonight. Worst one is Cubs-Cincy game. Okay, that one might get rained out. Tom Marino says the Reds are hot right now. Castillo is a high variance pitcher, but he has good success against lefties. I think it's tough to bet against Cincinnati right now. Okay, all right. So someone else saying the Cubs are a lock. Tom Marino Tomer saying the Reds are hot right now. Tough to bet against them. Any other comments jumping out at you, Jim?
A lot of great stuff. Freddie Richard on Baltimore and the under says book it. Dylan Sema saying MLB sharp action, Nats and Philly, Washington under, and Indians and Mets, Dodgers under.
I win says no, Pete. Red Sox game over. That's interesting. CC Fitness says I thought about that Boston under, but I'm worried about some regression for Wright. Yeah, knuckleballers tend to have obviously different statistical profiles from other pitchers. We might see some regression from him, but it seems to me like he's going to be able to chug along until further notice. I wouldn't want to time regression from Wright here, even though I would say that it's probably going to come in the future. He's not the kind of guy who I would want to time it and just after a run of good starts try to time the first bad start. Let's see. J. Peach like Washington under 8.5, Boston under 9.
Wow, Twatty going on the Cincy reverse run line plus 255.
Oh no, Jim, we might be on the wrong side there. We might be on the wrong side there. Is that not? That's not good. That's not good. Let's see. Other comments. Ish Kurt says 2 underplays. Braves, which makes sense. It depends on obviously what to expect from Cobb and Newcomb has been great. And the St. Louis game, yeah. Obviously Flaherty has been great. Would expect him to be good again for 5 innings. I was thinking about the Milwaukee first 5 innings team total under, and then Guerra. He has more often than not been pretty decent. So I can see that one. Let's see, what else do we have here? Any other comments coming in that are catching your eye, Jim?
Jay Ballgame says Angels 10 straight overs. He's on the under tonight. Estrada is pitching well.
Yes, suddenly, yes. Estrada with a bunch of. Do you think that's for real, Jim? Hard to say.
It's hard to say. But I would lean to him pitching this way for a little while longer. Yes, it's taking me off of the Angels.
Dylan Sema says, shouldn't the Cubs be more than a -140 favorite? Games like this make me want to take the dogs, the Reds. This is what we were talking about in the morning show. What's the definition of a trap? Traps do exist, not like locks, but not objectively. They exist for subjectively. And yes, in my tweet about this about the morning show, I talked about how Jim and I both took the Cubs 2 ways, and we were wondering if it's a trap. Dylan Sema echoing what we were talking about. Should the Cubs be more than a -140 favorite? Dylan Sema says that the line tells him that there's something that he's not seeing, and that makes him think that the Reds are the play. I'm feeling you, Dylan Sema. All right, let's see. What else do we have here going on? Kobe Valentine, Baltimore -1.5. Wow. And Cincinnati -1.5 are my best bets today. Well, that's just great, Jim.
it's uncomforting. Brandon Cummings says, yes, this is more than a show, more like a family gathering.
Yes, absolutely. It's more
What
like
a guy.
it's a family where we don't support each other. Where I guess which is what most families are like. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a
There's
family
support.
growing up.
Brandon is giving me support.
Yes, no, I'm
Brandon's
kidding
had
around.
me at my back the last 72
Yes,
hours, man.
of course we support each other in here. We support each other. But I as you know, Jim, I never had. Do most? I know some families support each other, but don't most families not? 50-50?
In North America, most families don't.
Right.
Families don't. But you go to Asia,
For real?
they care about their elders.
Yeah, they should. That's good. Yeah, Earth to fucking United States. Care about your elders, damn it. Estrada, Al Max says Estrada is a very good pitcher on the West Coast. He has family out there and will probably be at the game tonight. All right, let's see. Ziggy Ball's leading under in the Cubs game. This is not a good sign. Who's the other one who's on? And Tuate Latte's on the...
David Barry giving us Cubs.
But who is it, Kobe? And who's the other one who's on the Reds?
Oh, Twadi Latte.
No, that's not good.
Not good.
And then Dylan Sema saying what we're all thinking, which is the line tells us that maybe anyone who thinks the Cubs are a great bet are falling for a personal trap there. Let's see other comments. Chris
John Garcia joining us saying not one person backing Nova for good pitching today. Oh no,
Yes.
there is one person.
Oh shit! And Chris Carter says, "Pete, wake up! My family hates me. I am the problem." I
said
hear you,
that?
Christopher Carter.
Oh,
Christopher
no.
Carter. I feel you, fam. I feel you. All right, let's
Freddie
see.
Richards saying, Jimmy, do you like the Marlins tonight? I don't,
Yeah,
but I'm taking them.
I mean, at a certain point, you gotta take a line when it gets that high. Let me see. Any other comments? I'm looking for other comments. Kobe Valentine says Jays -1. I was leaning. Let's see. Not applicable. San Francisco money line again. The Giants. Weirdly, I mean, if you didn't know that, Jim, and I said who are the top 2 teams in MLB in terms of ROI at home, if I didn't have my spreadsheet, I would never be picking Detroit and San Francisco. But that's actually the truth.
Unbelievable.
San Francisco #2, Detroit #1. Let's see what else. And San Francisco is #1 on second half money lines, which is unbelievable.
No, Chance Briggs, Reds run line and full game
fuck.
over.
Fuck. So he thinks that what? He thinks that the Reds are just hitting and that they're going to hit what's his name? Quintana.
Yeah, I like this matchup for Quintana. I mean, the Reds hit lefties. We saw their record. It was pointed out on the early show. The record's bad versus lefties, but their numbers are fine. And it was their pitching that had let them down.
All right. Well, I think officially, if the Reds cash on the run line and the team total over, Jim and I get Genius Awards that we'll give out on Monday. Unreal. We're going to get a Genius Award for betting a favorite, Jim. But that seems like how it's turning out. Latte. Let's see other comments, and then we'll get to other picks. All right. I guess we've gotten to as many comments as I can possibly get to. What else do you want to add here, Jim?
More first fives. I'm fading Clayton Richard. Here I'm taking the Giants minus a half run on the first 5. I was going to take the Giants full game, but I just felt I'd rather put myself in a plus situation first 5. I like the Padres bullpen better than the Giants bullpen.
Definitely.
We saw Melanson come back and throw. If he's going to be the guy that they thought they were signing, we'll see. But right now, with Strickland out, I find this, and I hummed and hawed over this for a while, and felt like this was my best spot. So I'm on Giants first 5 minus a half run.
All right, let me just. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, Jim.
Sure.
All right, but if I were in this position, I would definitely be taking the money line, not the -1.5, because I think there's low volatility in this game, and that half run is worth a lot. The minus a half line now would be plus 115. The money line would be just minus 122 at Pinnacle. I'm not telling you what to do, but if this
is
was
a 37-cent difference.
if I was doing this, I would take the minus 122 line.
It was a 50-cent difference on my book. 37 is more advantageous. Okay, I'll take the first 5 minus 122.
Yeah, so the minus a half would have been plus 115, and the first 5 money line at it would be everywhere has 125 except Pinnacle has 122. So Jim's going to take San Francisco first 5 innings money line minus 122. I would be leaning San Francisco on the full game here as well, leaning on the Padres on the second half. I think that's not a bad play there, Jimmy the Bag. It's just that Clayton Richard is just kind of like he's kind of like a lefty. What's that guy's name? Cashner, He looks like he should be worse than he is, and he gets results more often than not.
He's had an okay stretch. Won 3 in a row, allowed 6 earned runs in 20 innings, but Giants have his number. 6-8, 4.58 ERA in 22 games, including 19 starts. But in San Francisco, 5.75 ERA. Stratton's coming off throwing pretty well. I don't like Stratton's stuff. I have to keep reminding myself that he's a first rounder. But he threw 7 shutout innings against these Padres. His career career numbers against them: 2-1, 3.21 ERA. Giants rating 252 with just a 725 OPS versus lefties, but I like the 252 spot, and I like it.
I hear you, Jim. All right, what else? What else are you going to add here? I have to make some decisions of my own before time is up.
I think that is everything. Let me just double check. I got the team total over with the Astros, and I added those first fives. Giants, Rays, Mets, Bucks, and that's it. That's what I want.
All right, I'm just scanning over some things here, trying to make some decisions here. Yeah, man, this Cubs Cincinnati game. You know what I think would be the best result? Rained out. Then we get bailed out of our picks, and we'll never know if it was a trap or not. We'll see. Castillo, reasons to fade him, but we'll see. All right, so let's see.
Zach Kenkel, we gave him a shout out on the early show. Says biggest play of the season for me so far in the WNBA tonight.
Which one?
We'll find out.
Really? Wow. Yes, WNBA is very, very interesting. Jimmy the Bag. All right, now, so those are all of your picks. I'm curious, did you look into the Rangers-Twins game? I was thinking about overs here. I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that, Jim.
Yes, I did definitely look into that game. Let me just get to my notes. Goddamn page.
And I'm also surprised that you're not fading Giolito. I know the first game isn't over yet, and I would normally never touch a second game of a doubleheader before the first game is over and the lineups are announced. But unless there's an auto fade situation in the second game, and maybe Giolito on the first 5-inning team totals overs is an auto play we want to be making.
I don't trust Bassett.
You don't?
And Giolito is very confusing. I was high on Giolito to start this season off, so it's just not a comfortable play, especially with the Athletics destroying the White Sox in this game one. Just not comfortable with the spot. Juice Rebel says Rangers money line. Drew Daddy, all good, man. Drew Daddy saying, my bad, Jim, White Sox game was played. Man, we're giving us the inside information in the city's all great, man. Don't second guess yourself for a second. Juice Rebel on the Rangers money line. I can understand that. Mike Minor, a couple good starts in a row. What's Fernando Romero going to give us? Who knows? Such a big question mark. I
have a feeling he gets hit, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Twins lineup now without Escobar, Sano, and Buxton. Have they announced their lineup? Because I was saying that Eddie Rosario was going to be in.
Let me check. I will see what we can find. I use here. Let's see. Where is this? Well, I would tell you which side I use, but first I want them to send a check.
Yeah.
First, send a check. No,
sure.
I'm just kidding around. I use RotoWire, but there's lots of sites you can use. All right, who are you looking?
Is Eddie Rosario in the lineup?
Eddie Rosario. Let me see. Where is that? Yes, he is batting second.
Yeah, that's what I expected in what I said on the early show. I mean, that helps. That helps a lot. If you want a chance to hum and haw, I made a mistake on the early show. I copied and pasted an important question that somebody had for you, and then I never asked it.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you ask it, Jim, and then let me.
Now I don't even remember who asked this question, but it was someone that I cared about enough to says, Pete, I have a theoretical question about betting edges.
Oh shit, that's a hard one. Okay.
Say you cap a game and put the dog at 30% likely to win versus a market implied 20%.
Right.
Should you bet those knowing you still expect them to lose?
Of course. Wait, what? Wait, that's the question?
That's the question, yeah.
Should you bet them knowing that you still expect them to lose? Of course. You want to bet any edge you have, regardless of the odds, and that would be a big edge. Psychologically, though, it's tough. We talk about this all the time in MMA. It's very tough. I mean, it's not tough if you have a model. If you just have a model and you're just blindly betting what the model tells you, then it's very easy. But if you don't have an actual model that is directing your actions, it can be very tough psychologically to bet a big underdog that you think has value, but that you still expect to lose, and that's why the market tends to inflate the value of favorites, because it's much easier to bet a favorite that you think is going to win, and it's much easier to convince yourself that there's a bigger edge on the favorite than there really is, and it's tough psychologically to bet big underdogs with an edge, and that's why they can be some of the best ways to bet sports betting. Absolutely. So yes, the answer to that is definitely you bet that.
Perfect.
Right? Absolutely.
Perfect answer. My man Smooth Godwin says, my office said they heard the shout out. Give thanks, Jimmy and Pete. Boom. Man, Smooth Godwin, what a great group of guys that we run with. Much love, Smooth. Remember his son graduated?
Yes, his son just graduated.
We love you here, Smooth.
Hell yeah, Smooth Godwin.
Kevy Kev asked that question. Sweet. Thanks for reminding me, Cody.
Yes, definitely. Kobe Valentine says Germany will lose to Sweden.
Yeah, and he's not the only one who said that.
Isn't that Bill Buttlicker predicted the same thing?
Bill Buttlicker stuff.
But Alex likes Germany enough to put them in one of his parlays, right? Wasn't that his big parlay?
No,
in
Alex,
the show.
Oh, is it? Because Alex has Alex said as soon as we get to round 16, he's going to start fading Germany every game.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't Alex say that he had a 2-team parlay that he was like, this is my special 5-unit play? You remember that? He was like, this is my special 5-unit play, and it was 2 teams that were parlayed. One of them was Germany.
You're right. I think you're right, yeah.
Yet, Kobe Valentine and Bill Buttlicker both predicting a loss to Sweden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first guy's name is Bill Buttlicker, so maybe you want to, throw that off. Second guy's name is Kobe Valentine. That's a normal, solid name right there.
I trust Bill Buttlicker.
You know what I'm saying? I do too. Wow, there you go. Now I'm going to have to scratch my head and think about that a little bit. All right, Jim, I have to think about the Teddy B says, Pete, heavy sharp money coming in on the Diamondbacks under. I bet that one earlier. Second half is one of my official plays, and I was thinking about the full game as well. And Texas money line. Wow. Let me just think about this.
Paco Healy on the beach in Oceanside with his headphones on. Mm-hmm. Nice work, Paco Healy. That sounds real nice.
Nick Dial says, money coming in on the Rangers. Trust the line move. Predictions guy, Germany is a doubt. Belgium is not a doubt. Okay.
Rangers have won 5 straight. Their bats are awake. I can understand that play. What line do you get on the Rangers right now?
Which one?
On the Texas Rangers money line?
Well, now it's down to minus 104 or so. Isan Zolfagari says, Pete, why do you think over in Texas-Minnesota game, Minnesota is missing players and these pitchers aren't horrible? That's why I like the over, Isan Zolfagari. No, I like the over because, in general, that park in Minnesota can play a little bit hitter-friendly. And so, anytime you have a line where it's like, 8.5, 9 with pitchers, the pitchers aren't horrible recently, but Minor can get touched, right?
Yeah, well, Minor hasn't had 3 consecutive starts in 3 consecutive quality starts in 3 or 4 years.
Tomrio Tomor says, I'm on Germany. I think they'll make personnel and formation adjustments. Sweden's is strong defensively, but their offense sucks. Okay, Ken Peacock says Germany -1. Jim Bean says Germany is a mess. Wow, all right. So Tom Reno Tomor, Ken Peacock, and others liking Germany.
Jason Campbell saying take the under 2.5 in Germany, Sweden. Sweden have solid defense. Can't see them conceding more than 2 goals. Can't really see Sweden scoring with their attack.
Yeah, and it does seem like in the World Cup, what you want to do is when there's these big favorites and the other team is just like, all right, our only way to be competitive here is to have a 1-0 game and hope we win it. It seems like taking the unders in those games. How did the Iceland game go? Not the Iceland game, the Switzerland game. Did that go over?
It went over.
Yeah, see, and I was telling you, that's what I was saying, Jim, because there were competitive odds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the teams that have competitive odds, it's like they think they can win, so they want to try to score to get a big win, whereas the teams that kind of know they have no chance are just like, let's just turn this game into a 1-0 game and hope we win.
Remember, the under 2.5 was -200.
Wow.
So the over, it went over.
Wow, yes.
But it went over in injury time, but still.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So I'm thinking that might be a good play there. I haven't looked in these World Cup games for Saturday and Sunday. If I like any, I'm gonna tweet them out. Jimmy the Bag. What should we do here? There's a lot of leans I want to think about, but we got to get to WNBA and we got to get to CFL.
Soccer,
Holy shit.
Well, I'm locked in, but if you want, why don't you make your 7 o'clock games, lock in your 7 o'clock games, we'll go back to the late ones.
Philly, Washington. I'm going to take the second half under here. Washington, I like their bullpen now, right? Especially with the addition of Herrera. Philly has a decent pen as well, and I'm taking the Washington second half under 3.5. That'll definitely be a play. Arizona, Pittsburgh on the full game under. Yes, Bet365 still has 8. It's -135 though. I will. Let me just check one thing very quickly. Sorry, folks. I know we're trying to keep a brisk pace here, which we were doing for half an hour. Now we're stalling out because of my neurosis and lack of...
Jen Monroy says, hey, guys, I'm back to betting. Hello from Chicago.
Okay, very, very nice. Very, very nice. You know what? I'm going to hold off on that Pittsburgh under for now. I'm taking the Philly, Washington, second half under. Detroit and Cleveland. I will take the second half over. Detroit, Cleveland, second half over. I'd be leaning full game over as well, but let me see if there is a 9 available, which I don't think there is. Let me see. Detroit, Cleveland, no. All right, I'm just going to take the second half over in Detroit, Cleveland. Let me just keep going down. Seattle, Boston. Maybe I'm on the wrong side there. I want to take Seattle on the first 5 innings team total under. I think Wright's going to throw another good game, but I'll hold off on that one for now. Let me see. Going on down the line, I was thinking about taking the Baltimore first 5 innings under, but a lot of people are liking Baltimore here. I think I'll hold off on that one. Texas, Minnesota. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to take the first 5 innings only. First 5 innings over. I bet this one at 4.5. Hopefully it's still available. Yes, 4.5 minus 132. Watch it cash, baby. First 5 innings over 4.5 minus 132. Texas, Minnesota. St. Louis, Milwaukee. Very tempted to take Milwaukee on the second half. On the second half money line at plus 100. They should have the edge. Who's back from Milwaukee? I can't remember. It's going to make their offense a lot better.
Thames.
Yes. While I think a little bit here, tell people about Thames and how that affects Milwaukee going forward, Jim.
He's just a monster power hitter. Yes. Resurrected his career in Japan, and he was going to be the first baseman for the foreseeable future before Jesus came in his stead. Was incredible. And they couldn't move forward without Jesus won the spot. So they switched Thames to the outfield, which he's played like 15 games over the last 8 years. So their offense is going to improve and their defense is going to be worse. So look for more overs in the Brew Crew games moving forward.
All right, I'm going to take also the Miami, Colorado first 5 innings over, which I could have had at 6 in the morning. I waited, and now it's up to 6.5, so I'm going to take that one, but I will take it. First 5 innings over, 6.5, and I will go on Miami -1. I will take that one with you, Jim. It's just too high of a line. Anything can happen here. I know Colorado is hitting the ball very well, but it's a new series. We'll see how this all turns out. All right, so I gotta find the lines here, Jim. While I'm looking for the lines,
I've got something to say. Some incredible stuff going back and forth between Al Mack and our friend Muhammad Joma, both great friends of our show. Muhammad Joma on the Eskies.
No way.
And I studied that game, and I'm with Pete on the Ticats here.
Okay.
I like the Ticats here, and we'll break down the game. Yeah. But Almac says, I don't like them because Hamilton's a decent team that has made many changes. CFL is a dog league, and then Almac has the stats. Dogs, 35, 22, and 1 in the past 11 years in the first 4 weeks of the CFL season.
Yeah, but even if this were the way the teams are configured right now, even if that stat was opposite, I just feel like they're going to be a competitive team right now. You know, and like Almac said, the CFL, very unpredictable league. You got to have, unless you're talking about like an auto fade like the Owls were last year, you got to have good reason to be giving a team 6.5 points in CFL. Would you agree, Jim? And if you give it to a dog shit team, fine. But a competitive team, I don't know, man.
I don't know either. And I love June Jones and Jerry Glanville. Sure. You remember Glanville from, he was coach of the Houston Oilers, late 80s.
Oh, sure.
He was the coach of the Falcons in the early 90s. And that defense he had in the Oilers was just a ferocious and mean, tough defense. I like it.
All right, so I'm taking the Miami first 5 innings team total. Miami first 5 innings over 6.5 minus 104. Wish I could have given the 6 that was earlier today. I'm also going to take Miami -1. The best money line right now is plus 205, and again the alternative run line for Miami at Bet365 is still plus 350.
Yeah, Elio Rodriguez says, Jimmy, I notice I'm on all your plays today. Home dogs do have a lot of value. Great job. And right above that, Mud says, you two are awesome.
Oh, thank you so much,
Love the MLB info.
Yes, thank you so much. Right now, we got so much to cover that we don't have time to have a little love fest going on because we got so much to cover. Washington, second half under the line is 3.5 minus 120. Detroit, Cleveland, second half over the line is 3.5 minus 115. Texas, Minnesota, first 5 innings over 4.5 minus 132. Milwaukee, second half plus 100. I am going to throw that one on there. Okay, that's it. I might throw on some other picks before this show is over with MLB, but we do have a lot to cover. Once again, Jim has added San Francisco first half money line minus 122. I agree with that one. He has also added
Tampa first 5 money
first line. 5, yes, Tampa Bay first 5 money line. Then Tampa Bay first 5 money line plus 141. Then also Houston team total over 5 minus 115. That one makes me nervous, but I hope you cash, Jim. Pittsburgh first half money line plus 118 and Mets first half money line plus 125. The games that I have given: Miami, Colorado first 5 innings over 6.5. Also Miami -1. Washington second half under. Detroit, Cleveland, second half over. Milwaukee, second half money line. Texas, Minnesota, first half over 4.5 minus 132. All right. I might give some more MLB plays before the end of this show on the 7 o'clock games. Anything I want to add from the 8 o'clock games or later, I will tweet out for MLB. And now let's move on to a WNBA.
Before we do, Big Dave, celebrating his 41st birthday on his way to Vegas, says, give me some winners.
No. Well, when's he getting there? He's on his way to Vegas, so not now. So he needs winners tomorrow, right? Yeah. You need winners tomorrow? All right, just go to Twitter, check Jimmy the Bag's Twitter handle, check my Twitter handle, and check Team Bankroll's Twitter handle. And that's the best we can do for you right now. Although he's going to Vegas, he's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, if he's there tomorrow, you got any gold?
All right, you want to hit him up with your Grey Cup rematch play just for him, or just because we're gonna get in CFL in a second?
Man, I'm on the Argos plus 3.5.
Wow,
I can't wait to break that down.
Okay,
yeah, I'm on the
Jimmy
Argos.
the Bag gives you Argos. I'm tentatively thinking about Calgary, but I'm not sure about that one. Obviously, Ricky Ray's awesome. The Argos are the defending World Grey Cup champs, so we'll see. All right, let's see. And now let's get into a WNBA. Jim, you said some people were loving some plays in WNBA. Here's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the under in the Atlanta Dream Connecticut Sun game, and I did bet that one. I'm thinking about the under in Indiana Seattle. I did bet that one. I'm definitely.
Wow, Osuna was just suspended for 75 games.
Oh, shit. All right. I'm thinking about the first quarter and first half under in Minnesota Phoenix, and also the Phoenix team total overs in that. Sorry, first quarter and first half overs. Thinking about the first quarter over and maybe the first half over in the Liberty Aces game. Thinking about LA first quarter and first half minus the points against Dallas. So this is an interesting card. I think I am going to give most of my leans, although tonight is, wow, that Connecticut-Atlanta line is headed up. I was going to give the under, but it's now up to a 165.5 at Bookmaker. Atlanta, of course, likes to play a defense-oriented game. Connecticut, of course, likes to play a very offense-oriented game. Both teams have some injuries right now, so maybe Atlanta won't be able to impose their will on Connecticut, but I was thinking that the under would be a good play here. Let me see. I think I'm definitely going to take, though, the Seattle game under. I'm going to take that one. I cashed the Seattle game under last time just by a point or so. Seattle, of course, can be very, very high scoring, but they're coming off a loss. I'm not sure that they're going, and they're playing, a crappy team. I'm not sure that they're going to be motivated to run up the score here off the loss at this point in the season. I think it might be a little bit more modest scoring. So I'm going to take the Seattle game under 166 minus 110. It is headed up, but I'm going to go against the market line move under 166 minus 110. That's the current line at Bookmaker. Jim, before I move on, any WNBA comments coming in?
Yeah, Huey Boys on Mercury, Aces, Sparks. Tomor says, I'm on Minnesota first half at plus 1.5. Seattle first half at -6. Got it early. Seattle's been great at home off of home losses.
Yes.
They were embarrassed last game by the Aces. On to another sport, Drunk Dad says, no, Stamps are going to crush. The Truth LSRP says Storm first half -6. Wondering if that's the best bet of the day. J. Ron Lackey likes the Lynx under. Etienne Monroy says, why is Pete talking so fast? Got a lot to get through.
We got to get to MMA. We got to get to CFL. We got to get to soccer. Once again, useful YouTube hack. If someone's talking super fast as we are, you can just watch it at half speed or 3/4 speed.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we sound like we're totally normal, non-spazzed out people.
Totally
right?
relaxed. Juice Rebel, New York Liberty money line. Zigzag Man over. Oh, no, sorry, it's baseball. Truth LSRP says, what do you think about the Lynx full game? Dion Davis likes the Lynx over. Lynx money line and over. Juice Rebel Mystics -3 first half. Dion Davis Aces money line and under. Dion Davis Storm and over.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to take one play right now. The Lynx Phoenix first half over. Lynx Phoenix first half over, and that will be 82.5 minus 110 at UWager and Bookmaker. Market is uncertain even right now. There's 83s and 83.5s right now. Pinnacle appears to be slightly juiced to the over, but I'm going to take first half over 82.5 minus 110.
This is the play that Zach Kenkel was talking about as his big 3-unit play, Aces.
Aces.
Plus 105.
Yeah.
And then Charles Stark has joined us. Thank you, Charles Stark, for joining us, my man. It says, Stark Raving totals play of the day. Chicago, Washington, over 167.
Yeah.
Strange line, just played to 148, but Sky shot just 29%. Pace was good, and combined should get their night. Good luck, everyone. And sorry, that was the what Zigzag Man was on as well.
What?
Over Washington, Chicago game.
Yeah, I was leaning that way myself. My only question was just, does Chicago have the offense to be reliable enough to have, an 80-plus point game? I guess Charles Stark thinks they do. I was thinking about the Chicago team total over in this one.
Brandon Cummings says you should have a spin-off show called The Second Half Sucker Punch.
Oh, who said that?
Brandon Cummings.
Brandon Cummings. What a creative. Oh, man, this guy's creative, and he works in an ER. Huge shout-out to Brandon Cummings. I'm thinking about what I want to do here with all of these plays. I'm definitely leaning over in the Phoenix, Minnesota game as well.
Wow, Drew Daddy says Jewel Lloyd, is a friend of mine.
Oh.
She said they're going to put up points tonight.
Really? Wow. Okay. Let me just think about. Wow. Wait.
Mystics over 167. Wings +5, and then Aces with 3 units. That's what he's on. And then King Rail's on Aces full game first half over. Wow.
King Rail is what?
Is on full game first half over. with the Aces.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about as well. I was thinking about the first half and first quarter over, and also the Aces first half team total over as well. Wait a minute. So he said that Jewel Storm told him they're going to put up points tonight.
Jewel Lloyd.
Jewel Lloyd.
Yeah.
Said they're going to put up points tonight.
Yeah.
And I just gave the under. Shit. Damn. That's not good. That's not good, Jim. Damn, that's not good. All right, I just gave the Phoenix for. There's so many plays I want. All right, let me just focus on the Connecticut-Atlanta game. I definitely want to give the under on this one, but it's just I don't understand why the line has been getting. Oh, but now it's headed back down again. Now it's headed back down again. All right, I'm gonna take. Oh fuck, this is so tough. So tough. All right, I'm gonna hold off on this one. Anyone have any opinions on LA? I was thinking about LA on the first quarter and first half here. Anyone have an opinion on that one?
Drew Daddy went to high school with her, man. First overall pick 2015, respect. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take the LA Sparks first half -2, -115. That's the current line at BetMania. Everyone else has 2.5. I'm going to take the LA Sparks first half -2, -115. That could be a trap that I'm falling into, but hopefully it won't be. A lot of team totals that I'm also thinking about, but these games also I might have to tweet out my picks because they all start after 9 o'clock. So the LA Sparks, I have taken the first half -2, -115. Connecticut, Atlanta, I really want to take a shot with the under on this one, but I'm just a little bit worried that Atlanta won't be able to impose their will because of their injuries, and that Connecticut will run up a high-scoring game here. And I'm thinking about taking the LA Sparks on the maybe on the team total over first half, and also on the first quarter line as well. LA on the first half is 41. They do play a defense-oriented game normally, but their offense is getting healthier now, and they are on the road. Dallas, as we know, traditionally is a team that just plays high-scoring games all the time, and I will take that one as well. LA Sparks, first half, team total over 41 -115. I'm going to quickly check Pinnacle to see if Pinnacle has a better line there for the LA Sparks 40, and they do 41 -107. I'm going to take that one.
King Rails on Sparks first half, Dark Kent LA game under, and then Mally Mal LA full game and over. What did you just add on?
I added the Sparks first half team total over 41 -107, and the Sparks first half -2 -115. And I'm thinking about taking the Sparks on the first quarter as well. Although interestingly, money is coming in on Dallas on the first quarter, which is interesting. All right, I'm going to hold off on that one for now. My only thought is just what I want to do with the Connecticut-Atlanta game, and then the other games are 9 o'clock or later. If I have plays on them, I will tweet them out. So officially, I've given a bunch of plays here. LA Sparks, first half -2. LA Sparks, first half team total over 41. Phoenix game, first half over 82.5. And the Seattle game under 166 -110, which apparently is now going to go over because Jewel Lloyd said they're going to put up points.
I am making my first official WNBA plays.
Yeah? What's that going to be?
I'm going to make 2 plays here. I'm going to take... even though the line's gone against us, I'm going to take the Las Vegas Aces full game. And what is the? Should I go? Let me see. Spread or money line?
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so Jim's going to take Las Vegas. You want the spread or money line?
I'll take the money line.
Okay.
And I want the full game over.
And the full game over on Vegas. Okay, hold on. Let me just quickly check the money line here. Vegas plus 105. Money line plus 105. And the full game over. I kind of like that one. It's a modest total, 160. The Vegas can play a high scoring game. I think that might happen here. And
we only have 12 minutes before the CFL game kicks off.
Yes. Vegas over 160 -110. That's the current line at UWager and BetMania. Over 160 -110. I might join you on that one. Again, I'm going to tweet out the picks for the late games that I want to add on officially. And all right, Jimmy the Bag, that's it for WNBA. For now, I will tweet out any other picks. They will definitely get added onto my official record if I do. Now let's move on to CFL. Jimmy the Bag, CFL. Hold on 1 second. Again, in the morning show, I gave Hamilton plus 6.5 as an official play. I gave Hamilton plus 6.5 as an official play. Said I was also leading Hamilton plus the points in the first half and the Hamilton team total over. Winnipeg against the Owls is starting in 10 minutes. What do you like in this one, Jim?
Oh, sorry. Let me get my page up. I'm on the Bombers here. sorry, let me get to my notes here.
Sure.
I really think the Alouettes team is going to get better throughout the season, but not yet. They've won 12. They have a 12-game losing streak dating back to August. Streveler looked good in place of Matt Nichols. They said a lot of great things about him. Paul LaPolice, the offensive coordinator, said he handles the huddle well. Some guys get in the huddle, they're nervous. He doesn't need the play call read to him. He hears it once, can repeat it. All those things that are about a guy having a command and a presence, he has.
And like I said, when I did research for the first game, I was reading those kinds of things about him. That's why I was like, okay, I'm willing to take a shot with him here.
Yes, and I like the spot. I like the spot. Now, a lot of full sale changes in Montreal and changes to be uncomfortable with. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and it's just going to take them a while. Now, I know these guys. I mean, it's Kahari Jones, new offensive coordinator. He was the Lions offensive coordinator for the last 4 years. So you would have thought that, and it worked out early for them, but you would have thought he would know what the Lions were going to do defensively against them. And they had a really nice first drive and a really nice first quarter, and then they just don't, they're just not good enough. Reuben Carter injury hurts the offensive line. They allowed 5 sacks to the Lions. They added Chris Williams from the BC Lions last year. After 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, he struggled through an injury-plagued season. The I feel like this is a team, Montreal, that's going to get better. Maybe 8 games for the season, we'll find value with them. But they just made all these changes. They have a new defensive coordinator as well. Now they have old man Rich Stubler helping them, which should help, but they made full sale changes. They got Jamal Westerman up front. They added Tommy Campbell from Calgary, Mitchell White from Toronto, Muamba from Saskatchewan. It's just going to take them a long time to get their shit together, and I don't think they'll have it together yet. I'm on the Bombers.
All right, okay. Everyone's agreeing with you, Jim. My only concern is that Drew Willie actually, he's an experienced quarterback, did look good in the first half of the last game,
and he was a bomber for 4 years. The team knows him inside and out.
Yeah,
it's not. This isn't a fade of Drew Willie. This is a fade of 2 brand new coordinators who have a very, very tough job.
All right, so what do you want here, Jim?
I'm on the Bombers full game spread.
All right, -3, -102 is the best line at Pinnacle, and I might join you on this one, and I might double up. I might take it 2 ways. Interesting. What's your take on the total as well? Because Jimmy the Bag, as we know, Montreal has a recent history of absolutely stalling out offensively, and a lot of those games last year with these types of totals, 47 or so, were good bets on the under. Their first game, of course, went way under, even though the first quarter was very high scoring. What's your take on the total, if any?
I was looking at this total for a couple hours. And initially I thought, wow, the Alouettes are going to have trouble scoring. Maybe the under is the play. But the line movement sort of makes sense to me. This Bombers defense was shredded by Riley. I'm not saying that the Alouettes Willie's going to be able to do what Riley did, but it gave me enough pause. And seeing the line movement, I could understand the line movement. I don't trust the Alouettes offense, and the line movement concerned me. The Bombers defense really looks susceptible against the Eskies, and it was enough for me just to not make a move on it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take Winnipeg on the money line, -142. That's an official play. Winnipeg on the money line, -142.
Sasan is on the under, though, in that Bombers game.
You don't think that maybe the Winnipeg team total over? You think that Montreal's defense is for real and that they'll be able to hold them down?
No, I really don't think Montreal's defense is for real. I think this Lions team is one of the weaker teams. I mean, it's Wally Bono's last year, so they're a lot of people they care, but it's just not a strong offensive unit. And
I'm sorry, no, the defense.
Yeah, the Alouettes defense.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the Lions Alouettes game from last week.
Okay, right.
Just putting up the fact that they held the Lions to 22 points is really not a fair gauge of this defense right now. With the new coordinator, with all the changes, it's just going to take them a while to figure stuff out.
So I'm thinking maybe about the Winnipeg team total over at 24.5, and maybe the Montreal team total under at 21.5. You don't like the Winnipeg defense?
No, I mean, Riley and the Eskies offense is a tough offense to stop. But no, I need to see a more time. Also, it's the home opener for Montreal. There's going to be a lot of excitement in the air. Teddy B says, Chris Dreveler is best friends with my college roommate, went to you here in South Dakota, played D1, broke some passing records. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. And he's focused. So Teddy B's on the first half money line. I think that the Winnipeg will slowly take over this game. Al Max says, I really like Alouette's team total under 22.5. Really?
He does, huh?
Yeah.
Even despite the fact that Drew Willie had like a pretty good game at times last game, and despite the fact that I was thinking, team total under 21.5 plus 115 at Pinnacle. I'll think about that. Now let's move on to the second game. Hamilton against Edmonton. That's at 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. I already gave a pick. Hamilton plus 6.5, although Mohamed Joma and some others who we respect like in Edmonton here. And I was thinking about Hamilton on the first half and Hamilton on the team total over. What's your take on this game, Jim?
I am on the Hamilton Ticats with you full game. They look good in week 1. They were up 2 points on the Stamps heading into the fourth quarter. Masoli looked good. Mike Jones, Jalen Saunders each caught for over 100 yards. They just signed Delvin Breaux, a 28-year-old. He was playing for the Saints for the last 3 seasons. And the Breaux show is good to go. He's going to be in the lineup right away. They'll also get Terrence Tolliver back. That's a big deal. Suffered a knee injury on the first play of the season last year. Tolliver led the Ticats in touchdowns in 2016, caught for 1,036 yards. I like that the Ticats stayed in Western Canada all week. And what pushed me over the top is what you mentioned was the injuries that happened to the Eskimos.
Yeah.
Key players are already hurt. And linebacker Adam Konar, defensive lineman Mike Moore, offensive lineman Tommy Draheim, and receiver Vidal Hazelton all started last week and have all been placed on the 6-game injured list. And I was talking about Jerry Glanville, man. I think I like June Jones. I think it's exciting that they're giving Glanville another shot at this. I like this Ticats team. And I just think they have a really tough start to the season. They don't play an Eastern Conference opponent until like week 7. So they could lose these games. But once they get back to playing Eastern teams, I think they're going to be we're going to have a ton of value on them. I'd like them to cover here.
Do you think that Hamilton, do you think that the Eskimos, because of all the injuries, are going to come out here and be more focused and be playing tighter and being like, oh shit, we're banged up. We got to really do this, guys?
If this was week 10, I'd say yes. But week 2, I think it's tough. It's going to be a tough thing for them to overcome. Al Max says Hamilton could be the best team in the league to start the season, in my opinion. They look very good. That's impressive stuff that Al's saying.
All right, I will double up on it. I'll take Hamilton first half plus 3.5 minus 105. Jim's going to take Hamilton on the full game. Let's find the best line would be. It has moved up, but the Greek still has 6.5 minus 110. The Greek still has 6.5 minus 110. So we can give Hamilton plus 6.5 minus 110. And then just very quickly, oh wow, some late money appears to be coming in on the Als.
Jason Campbell's on the Eskimos minus 6.5. Really late money's coming in on the Als.
Yeah, I mean not huge money, but it's now down to looks like it might get to 2.5 at some places. It's down to minus 125 at the Greek, minus 112 on Pinnacle. Interesting stuff there. And then Jim, I was thinking about the Hamilton team total over as well. What do you think about that?
Well, after watching what Streveler did to the Eskies defense, I would get it, but I think that we need to put a line sort of through that performance. It's tough to sit there for 2.5 hours and then get it going again. So, I'd be, I think that it helped the Bombers with that huge lightning and thunder break, and it hurt the Eskimos defense sitting there for 2.5 hours. So,
what's your take on the Eskimos defense in general right now?
I think the Eskimos are a good team, a tough squad, but they just lost a starting linebacker and a starting defensive lineman, and that's not easy.
Yeah. All right, I'll just stick with it 2 ways. Hamilton first half plus 3.5, and the full game I gave in the morning 6.5 minus 104. Jim just gave Hamilton plus 6.5 minus 110, and then the Calgary-Toronto game. Jim, you like Toronto? Tell us why.
I'm a huge believer in Pop and Trestman. Remember Trestman when he was running the Bears? He's a quarterback whisperer. He's impressive. What they did to this roster is absolutely incredible. They were given a complete trash heap. All the free agents, this was last year, the free agents had already been signed, and they put together a team that ended up winning the Grey Cup. Did the Stampeders miss their chance? I mean, they went 28-6-2 over the last 2 years, but 0-2 in the Grey Cup. They might have, because the rest of the CFL is catching up. No Charleston Hughes, no Jerome Messon. Messam, excuse me. Those are big losses. We saw what Charleston Hughes did with the Riders in week 1. He looks dominant. Alex Singleton is as good as it gets, a linebacker. There's no doubt about it. They still have a tough team. Emmanuel Davis, Seontae Evans, very intimidating secondary. Defensive line, Micah Johnson is an absolute beast. But I'll take the 3.5 points here for the home opener for the Argos. I think this Argos team will only get better and better and better with Pop and Trestman. And Jason Campbell says, with you, Jim, love Toronto tomorrow. And I got, when I put the bet out, I have $100 on Toronto, and I got a couple people tweeting at me saying, I love Toronto tomorrow. I love Toronto tomorrow. Yeah, a couple
they
different
love
guys.
Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah. And the one guy who was tripling up, taking them first half, full game, tripling up on the play. I think the league is catching up to the Stamps, and I've seen what Pop has done over in Montreal, and Pop and Trestman. They did a voting around the league. Who do you think's the best coach in the league? Trestman won over half of the votes. I really like the spot. Now, yes, no doubt about it, the Stamps are the cream of the crop. But I think the Argos can be very...
All right, you want to make this an official pick?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay, Toronto plus 3.5. Best line right now at Bookmaker -105. -105. And Bet365 have -105. And I wasn't necessarily thinking about about Calgary on the full game. I was thinking about the first half, -2. It feels like it...
That's a very... I can, you thinking that they're going to have revenge and all that
stuff?
Yeah. That's an interesting play. Definitely don't hate on that. Jonathan Manson said Ricky Ray had a bad first game, though. Lowest efficiency of all starters, needs to improve. He better improve quick, because the Argos have the best depth at quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Their second string is the best second stringer in the league. Their third string and fourth string are all guys that will end up being starters in this league.
And Ricky, he had a slow first half, but second half he picked it up. Right? I mean, he looked more like his normal self in the second half, because he didn't play in the preseason. So it would be understandable why there'd be a little rust in the first half. He looked a lot better in the second half, which I think is a good sign.
Bill Butler says Trestman loves feeding his pass-catching backs. Forte had ridiculous numbers under him. I'm all in on this Argos team with Pop and Trestman.
All right. I am going to take Calgary first half, though. Calgary first half -2, -110. Bet365 and Heritage both have that line. And I have a feeling, though, that the Argos will take money here, and that probably I'll be able to get 1.5 or 1 even on game day. But I will give that one as an official pick right now. Calgary first half -2, -110. Jim's on Toronto full game plus 3.5, -105. So once again, to review, I'm on Winnipeg moneyline -142. Hamilton first half plus 3.5, -105, and Hamilton on the full game plus 6.5. I'm also on Calgary tomorrow first half -102. -2, -110, and that's it. Jim has added Toronto plus 3.5, Winnipeg -3, and Hamilton plus 6.5.
Yura says, my model says taking the points, a great play, like CFL action. And John Moe says, shout out to you guys. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
My first time chatting, but watching all the time. Thank you for watching, John Moe. And then Josh Pikosh thinks that because SBR is sponsored by the books, that we are trying on purpose to give people
no. I mean SBR is sponsored by the books, but we aren't sponsored by the book. We don't give books don't pay us shit. You know what I'm saying?
Books don't pay us shit.
Books don't pay us shit, and SBR pays us a little bit, but not that much. Not that much.
Mally Mal saying, how do you do in the CFL? I have so much confidence in the CFL. I haven't been hitting it as hard the last couple of years, but over like the last 8 or 9 years, I would set full trips to Vegas around one game in the CFL. You can find huge advantages. It's about these teams that are a mess, and the Alouettes are getting their pieces. They were broken. They're getting their pieces back together with the new offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator. But I just think it will take time for that.
Yeah, but that is one that I did used to use that angle though with my shitty NBA record. When people were like, Loshak, are you really down 30 units in NBA? I would be like, no. I'm not allowed to give out my real picks. SPR went, so I'm like, so what's your real NBA record? I'm like, I'm up about 55 units. People are like, oh, wow, that's what we thought. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So, it can go both ways. It's kind of nice. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you have a good record, people say, look at what a god I am. If you have a terrible record, you can be like, yeah, but you guys know the deal. All right, Jim. Now what do we have to get to? What about soccer?
Oh, John Moe's got 5 units on the under in the Ticats game.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow. I'm thinking about taking the Edmonton team total under as well, and I think I might do that. I think I might throw that one on there right now. Riley is great, but that's a high total, 31.5.
It is a high total.
31.5. 32 at Heritage. Let me just quickly, I am going to throw that one out. Who else said that? I think it was Al Mack who has said that he really liked the Edmonton team total under as well. And I will throw that one on there as well. I'm going to take the Edmonton team total under 32 minus 115. Team total under 32 minus 115. That's another CFL play that I have added on. Edmonton team total under 32 minus 115. All right, I realize we can't even get to soccer yet because we do have to get to MMA very quickly. I broke that the MMA card, UFC 132 in Singapore with down with Andreas Hale. I had 3 picks in the show. I took the Cerrone fight to not go the distance at minus 205. It's scheduled for 5 rounds. Obviously, Cerrone loves to brawl. Edwards has great fight IQ, so it's possible that he might have a strategy to not get finished by Cerrone and wins it, by decision. But I also think he could get a finish as well. I took that fight not to go the distance, 5 rounds minus 205. I also took a shot with the OSP to win at plus 105. I believe that line has gone in the other direction with Tyson Pedro. That's a pretty tricky one. The question is, will Tyson Pedro be able to steamroll over OSP or not? I thought it was worth a shot that OSP as a dog had some value, and so some people said that they disagreed with that, saying OSP is terrible and that Tyson Pedro's going to maul him, that Tyson's going to knock him out, in the first round or second round or something like that. That could happen. I feel a little bit nervous about that one, but I gave it at plus 105. And I also, my third pick was Jessica Eye by decision at plus 160. That's also a tough one. The basic deal with that one is Jessica Eye has lost most of her recent fights, but they were against top competition. Clark has had 2 nice wins, but she had a size advantage against the women that she beat, and she's not going to have a size advantage here. I think that Jessica Eye is going to have a nice game plan here to come in and do like a Holly Holm type thing where she has a high volume of punches at a distance. Neither of these women have terrible knockout power, so there's a reason why this fight is expected to go the distance. The over 2.5 rounds, like minus 500. I think I might be a sneaky good play here, and I took her by decision at plus 160. I'm not sure that Clark is going to have the advantages that she had against the other women she fought when she had a size advantage, and I think I's just going to have a keep her distance, hit her with a high volume of punches at a distance, and take a decision win here. So I took I by decision at plus 160. I took OSP to win at plus 105, and I took the Cerrone fight to not go the distance at minus 205. Andreas Hale took Cerrone at plus 170, and I believe our good friend Bill Buttlicker said he liked Cerrone as a big underdog as well, didn't he?
I believe he did. He says if the main event finishes early, Edwards wins. If it's late, it's Cowboy because Rocky gasses later in fights.
Yeah, I was also thinking about taking a shot with Edwards inside the distance at plus 101. I told Andreas L. that was one of my leans, but I didn't give it. I just took it as not to go the distance at minus 205. Andreas Hale also agreed with me on OSP, but he didn't take OSP to win. He took OSP by inside the distance at plus 185. That one made me a little bit nervous just because I'm thinking that OSP might have a game plan to try to avoid getting taken out early. And as we know, Tyson Pedro, when he wins, it's in the first round knockout. And when fights go the distance, as it did against Latifi, he tends to be at a disadvantage. So I was thinking that OSP might try to, that the fight is more likely to go the distance than the market is giving credit for, but we don't know what's going to happen here. Obviously, there's a lot of unknowns. I took a shot with OSP at plus 105. I think the lines moved against me. Andreas Hale took a shot with OSP inside the distance at plus 185, and that's it for the main card of UFC Fight Night 132.
Bill Buttlicker says, I love Cerrone. Melee Palis weighs on Cerrone in the under.
Josh P. Kosh says, Loshak doesn't even know UFC. He leeches on a bunch of people laughing my ass off. What's wrong with leeching? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Leeching is how you win in life, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like saying like a pimp just leeches off his hose. Yeah, of course I leech off people. I leech off good people, the best people I leech off of. Sure. All right, Jimmy the Bag. What else do we have? Yes, Josh Bikosh, you're here on a Friday evening just to troll, which is wonderful. You know I love haters, Jim.
Yeah, I know you do.
Jim is just Jim is adjusting to having the love for haters that I have. All right, Jim. What else? What else do you want to?
We've got to touch on the World Cup.
We got to touch on the World Cup. I'm not going to have any World Cup picks right now because I haven't looked at the games in depth enough to give a pick. If I like anything, I'll tweet them out. Jimmy the Bag. If you looked at any World Cup picks, you want want to lock in any lines here?
I have. It seems like tomorrow is. It's just all chalk, you know. I love the way Belgium looks. Tunisia played well against England. I have South Korea to win, to be at the bottom of the group, and I have Mexico to move on. So I feel like I probably shouldn't make a bet, just compound losses. Oh, wow. John Moe says Germany and Sweden way over 2.5. Wow. Bill Butler again saying Sweden 1-0. Etienne Monroy says a Belgium easy win. I think Belgium is a very good team. And then on Sunday, I'm not going to make any plays. I'm going to spend some time with it and do exactly what I did for these games today. But Panama looks like it's the weakest team in this whole tourney. In England now, I think getting a win and getting a monkey off their back and getting some confidence, they should run roughshod over them. Senegal looked good. I was surprised at what happened. Poland Colombia is a toss-up. I like Lewandowski to score a goal, and that's at plus 120 in that game. But I'm going to take time. And then make a move. Kobe Valentine too, 1-0 Sweden.
Yeah,
that's
wow.
amazing.
Kobe Valentine and Bill Butlicker predicting a 1-0 win for Sweden. Bill Butlicker says Sweden 1-0 Germany. Pete, don't forget. I didn't forget. I locked it in my head. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. And Bill Butlicker saying England 2-0 and Payless Way likes England -2. So a lot of people thinking that England by a margin might be a decent play as well. Jason Campbell says I can see Belgium winning 0, possibly 2 or 3-0. Alert Eddie says Belgium beats Tunisia easy. Tunisia can't even make complete passes. So maybe Belgium winning 0 might be a great bet. Alert Eddie and Jason Campbell.
Peacock has such a good read on what's going on as well, and he says Belgium already qualified. So take them on the money line. That's interesting. Alert Eddie saying Sweden won't attack against Germany.
Under. So we think under maybe in the Germany game, especially first half under in the Sweden-Germany game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's, Oh, wow. Susanna says the big 3 kicks off tonight. Lines posted on Bet365. Wow, I didn't know they were posted already. Wow.
Let's see. What else do we have? A lot of people liking Belgium. Wow. Sean Robertson, Belgium -1.5 all day. Jason Campbell, Belgium -1.5. Makara says Belgium -1.5. Wow. Kobe Valentine, Belgium 2-1. So he doesn't like Belgium.
Wow.
A lot of people. Etienne Monroy, Belgium easy win.
Wow. Nostra doing Mexico, South Korea 0-0 at plus 600. Oh, man, he came so close to a huge score today. He had the Swiss to go over 2.5 goals by themselves at plus 800, and it was, inches away from happening.
Paco Healy responding to Josh Pikash says, isn't he a normal commenter? I think referring to me. I don't think of myself as normal at all.
No, isn't Josh Pikash. Josh Pikash is here all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, I thought he was talking about me. All right, let's see. I thought he was defending me. All right, so what else do we have here, Jim? Anything else you want to add on?
No, I'm very interested to hear what lucrative Larry has.
Yeah, I'm just looking back at other comments that might be shedding some handicapping light, and I'm going back, and now I'm just seeing you're an idiot, Josh. Josh's a hater. Wow, LOL, Josh. You think you're giving? Yeah, Paco Healy beat it. Josh Pikash, Kobe Valentine, you're an idiot, Josh. That's an interesting comment right there. Nice comments coming in. Let me see.
Wow, Jason Campbell like in the 1-0. But John Moe going back saying Germany, Sweden over 2.5. He's the only guy saying that. Everybody else has been under, and John Moe wanting to go heavy on the over. Very interesting.
All right. Well, it's been a great show. We had a hell of a lot to cover, and we did it pretty nicely. Not too much wasted time, and we kept a brisk pace throughout the entire show. Got a lot of picks that we've given, and once again, any picks that I want to give on the late games tonight, I will tweet out, and they will go onto my official record. Jim has not added any World Cup picks, but anything he's liking, he'll tweet out over the weekend, right, Jim?
I am, and Bill Butlicker, he's given us Shaqiri to score, which happened. He gave us Harry Kane to score. He did it twice, giving us Lukaku to score for Belgium.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Jason Campbell going for a double tonight. Wow. And Al Mack reinforcing the play, saying the score is a solid play. One final note before we bring Larry in here. Kobe Valentine says, be careful with Belgium -1.5. A lot of comments coming in. Belgium -1.5. Kobe Valentine advises us to be careful with that. He says they have already solidified themselves in the next round. They will play a motion game to try and get clock off and play not to lose. I can see a 1-1 or 2-1 game
game by Belgium, and that makes me think, Jim, maybe taking a shot with the under there at 3. Taking an under 3 at whatever the line would be, probably be a big favorite line. That might be a nice game to take a shot with the under 3, or maybe even 3.5.
Interesting.
Or maybe even a parlay with Belgium to win with the under at 3.5, like Natalie did with England. You remember when England won 2-1, and we all got screwed because we took what did we take? We took the under, or we took plus or the -1 or 1.5 or whatever it was. Turned out Natalie had the right call on that one, taking England parlay to money line, parlayed with the under 3.5. That might be the best way to take a shot with the Belgium game. Or if you think that the other team's not going to score, just Belgium to win, Belgium to 0. All right, is that it, Jim?
Yes.
Now it's time. The last pick of the week, of course, will be given by Lucrative Larry, your favorite part of the show, and ours. Lucrative Larry's play of the future to wrap up the week, the last official play on video. Larry's having a little bit of time getting out of his studio. Here we come. Lucrative Larry, what a week. So glad to be wrapping it up with you, your final pick of the week. Lucrative Larry, what do you have for us? Remember, speaking to a mic. Thank you very much.
Little thing.
Hi.
Okay.
Well, I lost today.
Oh.
It sucked.
Last pick lost?
Yeah.
Was that 2 in a row?
No, because you had back-to-back pushes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was a weird week. But I hope to be happy on Tuesday because I'm not here on Mondays. Fuck life. But I'm taking a 3-game parlay. Each game on a 3-way. Taking Mexico -143. Germany -200. And Belgium -275. The 3-game parlay pays out +247. A good number. I bet 365. That's it. Nice week, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much,
Shit,
Lucrative
son.
Larry. With
Chalky, chalk.
with the last play of the week. Ooh, what a week it's been. We'll be doing this all once again on Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Thanks so much, everyone.